Hey girl, hey. Today on the show, I'm talking about the biggest problem that you're gonna face in your quest to freedom from your eating disorder. You're gonna wanna listen into this one because this one is filled with hope and encouragement, love, and so much more. Without further ado, here we go. Hey girl, welcome to the Her Best Self podcast. I'm Lindsay Nickel, former competitive figure skater and perfectionist, turned God-led imperfect boy mom and digital CEO. If you find yourself constantly thinking about food and wondering if you'll wake up one day free from the obsessive thoughts and behaviors controlling your life, then I've created this podcast for you because I know exactly what it's like to be a downright hot mess trapped in a destructive cycle of disordered eating. I finally found freedom, and you can too, girlfriend. So if you're ready to heal your relationship with food and body and break the chains of control and show up in your best health, then grab your favorite Tarjay journal and let's get to it so you can start living your best life as your best self. I'm going to take you back in time to a day I will never forget, a day that was almost perfect, a day where I found myself anxious, scared, excited, all at the same time. I can literally feel the feelings that I had in the moment of this day. This was the day that I was skating at a place that I had only watched skaters skate at. I remember being a little girl getting taken by my parents to see the fancy princess shows on ice. And I thought to myself, one day I'm gonna be her. Well, this was the day. This was the day. And I feel it. I can even feel the sweat on my skin as I was doing lap after lap. It was freezing. My hands were shaking, but I can still remember the feeling of my blade underneath my feet. Every single second counted. Every breath, every single jump I had trained for, every spin up to this moment meant nothing if it didn't happen here. I trained for years to get to this place. Years to have the eyes of folks on me that could make the decisions. I trained for years for somebody to accept me or not. And so there I was, a young girl, skating circles around this place that I only dreamed of when I was a little girl. To say that I crushed it would be an understatement. I was nervous, I was shaky, I was scared, but I crushed it. Everything I was asked to do, I did with ease, almost as like my body just took over and I was on autopilot. Everything I had worked so hard for had finally become a reality. And then I got off the ice feeling confident, feeling on top of the world. I literally can still feel those feelings today, friend. And I was told to take my skates off and meet back in the locker room. So that is exactly what I did. Except, come to find out, there was more. There was more of this audition. There was more than just my love of skating. What I hadn't trained for, what I didn't realize, what I had not even prepped for, was the ability of somebody soul sucking my dream out from underneath of me because of a comment that they made. Well, Lindsay, your skating is amazing. However, come back when you've lost 10 pounds. Those words stung. They stung harder than any ice burn, than any fall. They stung. And I left that day a changed person. I share this story with you because I'm sure you have one similar. A moment in time where your soul was crushed, where your dream was right there, and yet it was gone. Today I want to talk about the biggest problem that you're going to face in your quest to freedom. You see, the biggest problem was that I felt like something was wrong with me. And the biggest problem that you will face in your quest to freedom from an eating disorder is holding on to the belief that there is anything wrong with you. Sis, there was nothing wrong with me. In fact, I didn't need to lose 10 pounds. I didn't need to do anything differently. But I allowed those comments to shape me, to mold me, and to change me. Have you ever considered that believing this lie that you're not good enough, has led you here? And maybe, just maybe, it's keeping you from your wildest dreams and desires. You see, just like me at a young age, maybe the message that you weren't good enough, just the way you are, was given to you by people who didn't know how to meet your needs. Were most likely behaving and acting and doing the things they were doing because someone didn't meet theirs. You see, in order to walk forward in freedom, you must quiet the noise. There is nothing glamorous about shrinking so that the world around you won't feel insecure. I remember feeling confident and allowing someone to steal my dream. But sis, I was made to be a light in a dark place. I wasn't made to survive in a constant state of struggle. You see, what I didn't know was after I left the rink that day, I was going to be living in a constant state of struggle. Your eating disorder, it doesn't define who you are. Your eating disorder is something you've experienced, just like that experience that I had. It's time that you let go of who you think you need to be. So today I'm asking you a question. How would you live differently if you believed that there was nothing wrong with you? For years, I lived in my body and my life as if I had something to prove and someone to prove. I spent day after day trying to drop those 10 pounds just to prove that I could. But what I didn't know is since that had become such an idol and an obsession in my life, 10 turned into 15, and 15 turned into 20, and 20 turned into 25, and 25 turned into 30, and it spiraled and it spiraled and it spiraled. For years, I lived in a body that I just wanted to be perfect enough for someone else. So how do you stop living in the mess, subconsciously believing that you are the problem? Well, how did I stop living in the mess? I had to go back in time. I had to transport my mind back in time, remembering that little self, that little Lindsay that was innocent and vulnerable and trying to be perfect. I had to talk to her. I had to be crazy and I had to talk to her. And I had to try to remember when the first time was, in addition to that time, where I had felt not enough. The day that I realized I could choose to commit to my recovery was the day that I realized I was living my life for others, by all of the people who had built me up and broken me down, because I was living in the belief that I wasn't enough. Sis, you can walk in the storm. And you can feel the storm, but you're not the storm. You are the sunshine. The day you decide that you can be good enough just for you is the day that you will set yourself free. Yes, I may not be nice enough for someone. I may not be thin enough for someone. I may not be pretty enough. I may not be funny enough. Maybe I'm not talented enough, or maybe I'm not smart enough. But you know what? The list goes on and on. I wasn't meant to be their version of enough, just like you weren't meant to be their version of enough either. My dream in recovery was to just be normal. But the reality is, sis, I wasn't made to be normal, and either are you. I've always been different. I've always been unique, and I've always gone my own way, darted my own path. So why did I want to resemble everyone else? Why did I want to be like everyone else? I had to go back in time. I had to think about little Lindsay. I had to go to those feelings that I felt so high on confidence and then so low on shame. Go into your feelings this week. But when you do, just remember what Galatians 5:13 says. You were chosen to be free. Sis, you were chosen to be free. The biggest problem that you will ever face in your quest to freedom is holding on to the belief that there's something wrong with you. Being different is what makes a difference. There is nothing wrong with you. You just need to step out in the sunshine. And that's what I wanted to share today as the sun is shining right outside of my window. And I wanted you to hear it from me, that gaining weight, it may seem scary. And facing fear foods may seem scary. And recovery may seem scary. But isn't it so much scarier to think that you could spend the rest of your life like this, believing that something is wrong with you, believing that you're not enough, believing that you're not capable? All for what? All for who? When I felt trapped in my body and unlovable, when I felt like I would never get my life back on track, when I felt not enough or as if something was wrong with me, I would love on other people. I would shine on other people. I would inspire other people. I would serve other people. Maybe that's what you can start with today. See, my story had to be hard. I had to be broken. I had to be miserable. I had to hit bottom. Your rock bottom has to be the bottom because that's where the living takes place. You see, life is 10% of what you experience and 90% of how you respond. So stop responding like you are the problem. What I know now that I didn't know back then that little Lindsay went through is that she left the rink that day feeling like she was bad, wrong, the problem. But you know what? The world is bad, wrong, the problem. You don't have to be thin enough for other people. You don't have to be pretty enough for other people. You don't have to be the best enough for other people. You don't have to be anything for other people because you were chosen to be free. How would your life be different right now if you went back in time and talked to that little version of you and believed that there was nothing wrong with you? I hope today's message fills your cup. Let go of who you think you need to be so that you can become exactly who you were created to be. I love you, sis. Until next time. Bye for now. Hey girl, before you go, did you know that I offer one-on-one personalized coaching to help you right where you are along your path to freedom? You do not have to be defined by this illness anymore. If your eating disorder is something that you have dealt with for years of your life and you have walked in the storm and back out again multiple times, I want you to know that there is so much more for you. You are so worth sunshine. I believe in you. I believe in you because I've been right where you are. And I feel in my heart that I was made to be different, just like you are made to be different. If you're looking for a different way because you've tried all the things and the things have not worked, I just want you to know that I believe in the accountability and the support that I provide to every single one of my clients. I've seen so much change happen, so many miracles, and so many stories to freedom. In fact, I'm going to start sharing some of those right here with you on the podcast because I feel like it will definitely help support your journey forward. But until then, you can find out more on how I can help serve you at my website, herbestself.co. Have a great week, girl. Bye for now. Oh, friend, thank you so much for letting me share what was on my heart today. My hope for this podcast is to help more women find freedom from food and body. If this has empowered or blessed you, let me know. I'd be honored for your rating and review of my show, and I'd love to connect with you in my private Facebook community. You really can move from perfection to purpose. Let's break the chains together. I'll help navigate the way. Until next time, bye for now, girl.